Tribeca is definitely a very, very trendy neighborhood. However, trendy neighborhoods always come with a price tag. It is not cheap in the slightest, and people definitely pay to live here. So not only are the apartments very expensive in Tribeca, but also everything else is pretty much expensive in Tribeca as well. The dining is expensive. The cocktails are definitely going to be the more expensive cocktails, probably anywhere in Manhattan. But like I said, Tribeca is a trendy neighborhood, so the neighborhood also tends to be one of the most expensive in all of Manhattan. Every year there's a few that tend to kind of like have the ranks of the highest, and Tribeca typically is one of them. So I don't think this neighborhood is getting cheaper anytime soon. So this neighborhood is also a waterfront neighborhood, so it's all the way on the west side, and it is not landlocked, so you do have access to the Hudson River waterfront parks. Now, I would say that the waterfront parks in this neighborhood and the surrounding neighborhoods are probably some of the best waterfront in all of Manhattan. So you have incredible views, you have lawns where you can have like picnics, you have tons of different playgrounds, and a lot of different dog parks as well. So I would say this area of the waterfront, even compared to the east side, is definitely going to be the best area for waterfront parks in all of New York City. So there is a Whole Foods in this neighborhood. However, I do have to say, this Whole Foods is absolutely chaotic. I feel like almost no matter what time of day you go to this Whole Foods, there's always like 1,000 people in there, and it's really hard to get around. Now, it is a pretty big Whole Foods, but somehow, even though the Whole Foods is very big, the layout, in my opinion, was not really thought out properly, and there's like a bunch of like cart traffic jams at all times of day. Now, the people who live in this neighborhood are also very, very dedicated to this Whole Foods. So I used to live in this neighborhood, and I used to live 2 blocks away from the Whole Foods, and even though I lived 2 blocks away from the Whole Foods, I used to hate going to this Whole Foods so much that I used to get delivery to my apartment, even though I lived 2 blocks away, because I just felt like it was a whole production to shop in this grocery store because there was just so many people there at all times. So recently a different Whole Foods opened up downtown, not in Tribeca, but in another neighborhood. So that might have taken away some of the traffic from the Whole Foods in Tribeca, hopefully at least. I haven't spent enough time there recently to be able to see the difference though. So I would say that the public transportation options are really good in Tribeca actually. You can pretty much get to any other Manhattan neighborhood very easily from Tribeca. So most subway lines are going to run directly through Tribeca or the Financial District or Soho, which is 2 neighborhoods that are right next door. So I would say that while living in Tribeca, I felt like I could pretty much get anywhere in Manhattan or even outside of Manhattan. And I never really had that much of a problem where I had to switch a bunch of trains unless I was going somewhere really, really obscure. And also they have a bunch of bus stops in Tribeca, and also the downtown shuttle as well, which is a free shuttle that takes you throughout Tribeca and the Financial District and Battery Park City. So overall, if you're commuting to another neighborhood, Tribeca could be a really good option for you because you can easily probably get to that neighborhood. So these are just a few things that I wanted you to know before moving to Tribeca. Now, as I said, I lived in this neighborhood for a few years, and I don't live there now, but there are certain things I did love about this neighborhood, but at the same time, there are other things that I definitely didn't like about this neighborhood. But as always, figuring out where you're going to live in New York City is definitely a personal decision, and I never like to give my opinions in these videos because I like to provide the facts and then have you guys make your own decisions that are the right decision for you. But if there's anything that I missed in this video or anything that you want to add about living in Tribeca, please share it in the comments because as always, I love hearing from you guys.